So welcome back. We are currently at a stage where we're trying to finalize everything. I've got the bridge just loosely bolted in place just so I could figure out what to do with the tremolo. This is where I'm planning on putting my volume and my tone knobs, and in this area right here I'm planning on putting the switch for the three-way toggle switch. And so what I plan to do is I want to transfer some of this information over to the other side just so I know where I'm going to put the back plate. So what I want to do is I want to have a small back plate that's just going to cover this amount of area on the back. So I put it onto this wax paper, and I'm going to turn this over. That's where the tremolo is going to sit. So that's what it does. It moves back and forth. That's what the tremolo does. But right now, so what I would do is, this is how it's going to look here. And so that's where I'm going to be making a backplate for the electronics, specifically, hopefully, my pots for the my push-pull pots, so I could split coil my pickups. Okay, and then we have to finalize this too as well. So here's the plan for the covers. The tremolo cover and the cover for access to the electronics. What I'm planning on doing is using this cream colored pick guard material I had left over from one of my other projects, and I'm gonna fashion one out of this, and I'm gonna recess it, which means I'm gonna have to route this empty area in here, and I'm gonna have to make a custom one for this section too. My hope is that I will be able to actually fashion something similar out of scrap zebra wood, so it's a full cover. Now that's it may pose some problems because wood that small is going to warp, and unless it's glued onto something else, maybe it may not be adequate for my use. So I'm going to do the pickguard material, and hopefully that will be my backup, but I'm going to really try to make do with wood pieces. So tonight I'm going to try to cut the pieces out for this itself, and then I'm going to at least get those shapes made, and then I'm going to try to, in subsequent videos, make those other plates out of wood. And I do have extra scrap zebra wood too, such as this one, and that is a nice big enough piece where I could take a sliver of it and it would work quite well. So just so you know, for this cavity, I'm first going to route out a smaller section And once I route out that smaller section, and it's going to go all the way through the body, then I'm just going to do a partial thickness. So there's going to be a step down, which is going to allow a cover to sit flush with the top of the body. And that's the ultimate goal that I want, is for it to sit flush. And then it'll be affixed with some screws. So we're going to first work on that cavity, then we're going to work on this one. And also, we're going to cut the piece of zebra wood, which I've left over, that we're going to use for these areas. And hopefully that shouldn't be an issue. I'm going to try and maybe make 2 cuts so that I have 2 sections just in case. And hopefully the wood will not warp. That's the problem that may happen when you're using wood with such a thin level like this. It potentially may warp, and hopefully it won't. So if it does, either we'll try and screw it down with a lot of screws to keep it down, or we might have to go with this. All right, that's it. Okay, so this is where we are. I have the tremolo cavity recess made, and I have the backplate cavity backplate access recessed. So the next step is going to be actually making backplates for both of these. Okay, so I was able to finalize the position of all the electronics as well as routing out the back plates, and I wanted to show you what I have so far. So these are the push-pull pots for the split coils for the volume and the tone, and we're going to be able to split the coils on the humbucker. This is the three-way toggle switch. Now this is what I wanted to also show you. So this is what the control cavity is going to look like. There is backplate number 1, and this is the tremolo cavity plate. So that's what it's going to look like. Now the rest is going to be fine sanding, and I have to decide what I'm going to do with the finish. I believe what I'm going to do is just make it natural with maybe a little bit of hint of amber. I'm gonna just do some test pieces just to see what color looks best. So that's where I'm gonna try. All right.